Welcome back to another final table commentary. If at any point in time you find yourself not caring for the commentary, just go check out BCP Poker replays on the old YouTube. There'll be a link in the description to the video and their channel. And with that being said, let's hop into the frickin' action here. We got, a 10K Super Stack final table from WCOOP 2020. We got things started off very hot. Wizzo with the king, aces, raise under the gun for Big Honey. Two big stacks going to war, except Wizzo just flats pre-flop with the kings. Interesting choice. Queen 8 for Fishbones in the big blind. We'll just let it go. Oh my lord, and we both flop the flush draw and an overpair to the board. Jack 3-5, all diamonds. Wizzo gets checked too, and he puts out a little bet there. Big Honey just plays call. 8 of spades on the turn. Wizzo gets checked to once again, puts out another healthy value bet. Big Honey in the tank. Are we going to raise? Are we just going to call? We call, we go to the river, we get the 6 of clubs. So diamonds don't complete, but we're still both playing overpairs, and it just goes check on the river. Wizzo only losing right around 20 blinds there. Not even. You would have expected him to lose quite a bit more there with the kings versus aces, but we didn't see too much action there. Just a call pre-flop, a bet on the flop, bet on the turn. River goes check. Big Honey shows him the aces. Alrighty, so we're gonna move along. We got Fish with 32 blinds in the big blind with an ace deucey. Facing a limp from Big Honey. Plays check, king 8 flop. Big Honey with the pair of 8s leads on out for a third pot size. Fish says his ace high could be good here. He comes along to the turn, 7 of clubs. Big Honey slows down, checks on the 7 turn. 3 on the river. No pair for Fish, but his ace high again could be good here. Let's see if Big Honey goes for some value. Any 7 or 3 could call you. An ace high might get tricky. We'll see if Fish can read into this value bet. Blind on blind pot, limped in. Big Honey bets on the flop, checks on the turn, leads out on the river. No value to be had for the pair of 8s. Alrighty, so let's get through the introductions. We got Fishbones with 20 blinds, Timothy with 67, Zags is hour off 21, Wushu with 32 blinds, Ladivio with 70, a big stack there. Haven't heard from them just quite yet, but surely they'll be throwing their chips around at some point. To round things out, we got Morphine off 17 blinds. Big Honey flops a straight draw, sees a king high board and takes a little bet. And the bet will work. Wizzo with 3 deuce has to let it go. Fishbone's going to open ace 9-0. Interesting stuff off the short stack. They're really just hoping to get this one through pre-flop, but Wizzo with the pocket pair will rip from the small blind, and that will get through. Pocket 7s for Timothy. They're going to open this one up. Wizzo with another playable hand. This time plays call with Jack 9 suited. 5-4-3 flop. 1 spade for Wizzo. 2 overcards to the board. We'll see if he continues. Timothy goes for the little value bet. And Wizzo folds. What do we got going on here? Fishbones with another ace 9, and he's right back in there. A few seats over, doesn't care. Says I got the short stack. This is gonna look strong. Wushu with the playable king queen in the big blind. Plays call 4-2-2 flop. No ace. See a min bet from Fishbones. Wushu floats and he makes top pair on the turn here. Not a good card for Fishbones. They check it back. 3 of clubs on the river. Wushu with top pair, a club blocker. Goes for a nice healthy value bet, and Fishbones quickly folds. Boo-ba-da-doo. Wizzo with another pocket pair. This time it's 8s. Morphine with the ace king. Sees an open. He's going to go all in. Sticks in 600k. Wizzo in a weird spot. Facing the effective all in for about 15 blinds. 13 more to call. Wizzo Wizzo says 8s are good enough. No ace or king yet. 10 dealer? No, morphine's out of here. 8s hold up for Wizzo Wizzo. They're right back up to 60 blinds. That's good news for the wizard. Ace 9 0 for Big Honey. That big stack is going to open it on up. The Divio with the King Jack suited plays call and zags his hour as well. King Jack suited plays call from the small. Flops the flush draw and 2 overcards. The Divio with no backdoor flush draw, just 2 overcards. No backdoor straight draw. What the hell do we do? He wants to buy the pot. He's not going to get Zags' hour out of here. They might even raise. What do we do in the small blind here? We could just call as well. He puts in the check raise. And this will work as Latavio's just got nothing going on for him. He's going to have to fold. Folds around the small blind. Timothy with an ace. Playing 14 blinds effective. Could rip, could limp, could raise, could do a lot of things. He bets 900k, which is all in. Fishbones unfortunately has to fold as he doesn't pick up too strong of a holding, other than a couple ace 9s so far. He's done a good job of staying active, but he's going to need to pick up a strong holding shortly. Wizzo Wizzo with the open-ended straight draw. Big Honey with the straight draw to the queen. Out of position, plays call on the flop. We get a 6 on the turn. Wizzo Wizzo will check this one back. 5 on the river. Good run out for Big Honey's range. So he's going to go over bet. Holy shit. And Wizzo Wizzo has to fold the better king high. Ace king for Wizzo Wizzo, but this one will just get through pre-flop. We're going to move along. What's happening here? Big Honey folds queen 5, of course, and Wizzo Wizzo will get a walk with the 10 and the 2 of the same suit. Doesn't matter. Wushu with king queen will open under the gun. Big Honey with 5-6 suited lets it go. That was probably the most playable hand. Ladivio has quite a few chips and a suited 9 in the big blind. I don't know why he would call, but something in me was just hoping for it. Anyways, king 10 for Fishbones. We'll let that go. Big Honey with a pocket pair won't let this go. Wizzo Wizzo with king queen and a decision. Weird spot. Plays call. Wushu in the big blind with ace 9. Says, I'm going to preserve my chips. Uh-oh. Big Honey flops bottom set and Wizzo Wizzo with top pair. Second best kicker. Backdoor straight draw to go along with it. We aren't folding on the flop. We get a 5 on the turn. Brings in some flush draws and a few lower straight draws. So if Big Honey has 9-7 suited or something silly, he might continue here. We get a 9 on the river, so what? 9-10 was a flop straight. Big Honey with the set. Looking to get called by some 2 pairs. Queen Jack, Queen 9, Jack 9. Maybe a tricky... Well, Jack 10 makes a straight, right? This 9 on the river is a 1-liner to a 10. Big Honey goes for another value bet with the set. And Wizzo Wizzo folds the top pair. So a few spots where Wizzo Wizzo could have lost quite a few chips. Has done a good job of navigating post-flop. He's still got 40 blinds in 3rd place. Oh, sorry, 4th place. Wushu with queens, looking to change that up. Goes for the 3 bet. This should get through pre. Ace 6 for Big Honey, gonna be an easy fold. Wizzo Wizzo. Surely we don't... What would that be? A 4 bet back jam all in with ace 5 suited? No way. Wizzo Wizzo folds. Ace king suited for Fish, and then an ace queen for Ladivio. Hopefully he just calls. Good stuff. Ace high board. Bad news for Ladivio. He's even got a diamond to go along with it. Ace jack 3, 2 diamonds. Fish is just licking his chops with the ace king of diamonds. Checks it on over. Letting Ladivio doing the betting. Ledevio puts out a small bet. Fish calls 5 of hearts on the turn. 4-2 makes a straight, but that doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna have 4-2 in this situation. Ledevio goes for another healthy value bet. I mean, it's still pretty small, right? It's right around a third. Does size up an all-in on the river. Fish plays call and he bangs off his diamonds on the river. Stack to pot ratio right around 1-1. Ledevio might check back now. He does have the queen of diamonds. Could go for another value bet. I don't think it would be an all-in bet though. No, it's 480k. We're still trying to get called by worse, right? This isn't a bluff. Fish with the frickin' nuts. Just licking his chops. Deep in the tank. Fish will eventually go all in. There we go. And Ledevio. Who the hell knows what to do with ace queen here? The bet's so small, it's like 500, almost 600k more to call into what would be 3.3 or something? 3.3 million chips? Holy shit. And Ledevio does find the fold. Nicely done. With the queen of diamonds, very hard, but your opponent's pretty much repping the nut flush. Would be interesting to see if Fish had the second nut flush, what he would do on the river there. Anyways, we move along. Wushu with the suited ace. Plays raise. Big honey in the big blind. With jack 9 of hearts, plays call, and he flops quite well here. Ace 8-8, 2 hearts. Wushu with top pair, checks back the flop. We get a 10 on the turn, giving big honey even more outs to the 7 or queen. We get an 8 on the river, so Wushu fills up. Big honey's draw misses and he checks it on over, giving up. Oh, Wushu doesn't even go for a bet on the river with the boat? Whoa, wee-wah, the top boat on the river just checks it back. I mean, it's hard to get called there by worse if we're being honest. Zags is our opening up the kings, flopping quite well. Except his opponent has the flush draw and backdoor straight draw. Straight draws. Could see Fish go for the check raise and he's in the tank. Oh, just plays call. We get a 9 of spades on the turn. Do-ba-da-do. Zags is our gives him a free river. It's a club, so also puts a one-liner to a queen out there. Maybe Zags is our just saved himself some chips. It's going to be hard to fold. Oh, but your opponent checks. Lovely. We can just check back our kings and save ourselves some chips. Preserve the 21 blinds. It's been pretty interesting so far how little the chips have been flying around, except Fishbones takes the spot with 7s and 10 blinds. Big Honey wakes up with King King, plays call. The other two fold. Any 7s dealer? No. Gonna lose Fishbones. Big Honey gets a little cooler in their favor. Nothing Fishbones can do there. Playing the short stack with a pocket pair. I think it might have even been under 10 big blinds. Either way, it doesn't matter how much it was. Big Honey's going to play call with kings. We move along with 7 players. Zags is our with ace king suited, raises under the gun. Wizzo with an ace and a 10 plays call from the button. Wushu calls the big blind now that he has more chips. As a suited jack. Queen 5 flop, it checks around. 9 of diamonds on the turn. Zags is our picks up the diamond draw. Goes in the tank, checks it over to Wizzo. Don't think there's a reason for ace 10 to bluff. We get a 6 of clubs on the river, so Wushu makes the best hand. And the ace highs check, so Wushu takes a little pot there. 8-8 for Big Honey, goes for the open. Zags is our with a suited 9 in the big blind. He's only got 18 blinds behind. He goes in chip preservation mode and just finds the fold. 8-8 for Big Honey, right back in there. Didn't he just open 8s? King 10 suited for Zagazar. We'll see what he does from the small blind. Plays call. Timothy lets go of the suited jack in the big. Queen 4-3 flop, all clubs. Flop goes check check, 8 of diamonds on the turn. Good news for Big Honey, who locks up the board, but no action will be had. Betting a little bit more than a half pot. Zagazar just has to fold. Wizzo with pocket 7s from early position. Wushu with the aces. Big Honey with 8s in the big blind. After Wushu 3 bets, we might just see a couple folds. 8s quickly hit the muck. And then Wizzo in a weird spot, playing 35 big blinds deep. Does play call. Queen deuce flop. 2 clubs, both players with a club. We see a small bet from Wushu's aces. No need to go large. 7s do come along to the turn. 5 of spades bringing in another flush draw. If your 7s were good on the flop, they're good on the turn, surely. You don't expect 5-5 to be here. Wushu checks back. We get another 5 on the river. Both flush draws miss. And any ace 4 or ace 3 misses as well. So Wizzo might be thinking his 7s are good. Leads out small. Picking a price that Wushu might not raise against. I don't know, Wushu's in the tank. Surely we don't fold aces. He does find the raise. Very nice value raise here from the aces. Trying to get called by a weaker pocket pair. I'm just thinking on this sort of board, it's so hard to find hands to call you with, other than pocket pairs. Like a queen is obviously going to go all in. A 5 would call, but they're not going to have pocket 5s. Wizzo's just going to have a lot of weaker pocket pairs there. Nice read by Wushu with the aces to go for some value on the river. Beautiful play. Didn't get the call, but still love to see it. After checking back the turn, maybe he just feels like he needs to. It's like, come on, I got freaking aces. Anyways, we move along. Wusu with a pair of 10s here. Best kicker. I think he checked back the flop. 4 on the turn. Gives fishes king 7 no help. Wizzo puts in a little bet on the turn. A little bit more than half pot and it gets through. Another aces for Wushu. Wizzo with king jack in the big blind. Probably going to go along to the flop. 10-8-7, so he's got the straight draw to the 9 and the backdoor club draw. Wushu bets about a third. Maybe closer to a quarter. Doesn't really matter. We do see the 9 of diamonds on the turn. Get a one-liner to a jack or 6, and Wizzo sitting there with king jack. Get a 6 on the river. Interesting run out. Got a straight on the board, and Wizzo's got the higher straight. He loses to queen jack, of course. Both the flush draws miss. We see an overbet from Wizzo. 805k into 650. Wushu not even playing his aces anymore. Losing to a jack and queen jack. Will he call for half the pot? Hopefully he can find the fold. As we can see, Wizzo's got the old jack. And Wushu just lays her down. I wonder if Wushu ever raises there as a bluff. Trying to get a jack to fold? That sounds like a horrific idea. Try to rep the queen jack. And Wizzo bet 800k. He only had like a couple 100k behind. There's no way you can bluff. You're kind of just priced out of the pot at that point, facing the action that you did. Another straight draw for Wizzo. This time just a pair of 8s for Wushu. He's going to find the fold on the turn. That's a nice little steal from Wizzo. A king jack versus aces, and then What the hell was that? Ace Jack versus Ace 8 holds, or didn't hold up, but you still got the bluff through. Few pots going Wizard's way. They're hanging out at 30 blinds in second last place. Looks like a limp pot. King Jack 7 flop. Ladivia with a pair of jacks. Wushu makes a pair of 8s on the turn. Didn't really want to see a bet, but it's going to be hard to fold. There could be any random 9x or 10x going for a bluff. Get the 6 of clubs on the river. This would be a nice little value bet on the river. Ladivia finds it. Good shit. Right around half pot. Does a weaker 8 ever go for value like this? I think that's the question Wushu has to ask himself. Or is this only a king or jack? I think there could be some weaker 8x in there. Although like king 8 is 2-pair, right? So queen 8? Does queen 8 go for some value like that? Very difficult spot. In the end, we move along. Wushu did find the call. We got 8s, 10s, and queens in the big blind. Wushu might just call here. He jams. Okay, just kidding. Putting the pressure on Ladivio. Zegs his hour. Thinks about it. And 8s call it off? And 8s flop a set? What the fuck are 8s calling it off for? Oh my lord. 8s are the beneficiary of Poker Stars run out. Get it in behind and you run hot. Oh my lord, Zegs hour loses with the queens, where he should have for sure got a double up from Wushu with the 10-10. Wushu, the 10-10 jam makes sense. I thought he was just going to flat, take it post flop, but didn't want to give Zegs hour a cheap flop. The thing is, I'm thinking about Wushu's spot, where is like if you call with the 10s, Zegs hour jams. If Ladivio folds, you have an easy call with 10s. If Ladivio continues, I might be willing to get rid of my 10-10 preflop. In the end, Ladivio smacks the set, and he's got 100 blinds now. Pretty well chilling with Big Honey. Very interesting hand. Don't even know what the hell happened afterwards. Jack for Timothy. They're going to go for the open. Big Honey comes along with Jack 9 suited. We get a 10-8-8 flop. Wizard also completed the big blind with Ace Deuce suited. Doesn't flop well at all here. Jack 9 is open-ended to the 7 or queen and has the backdoor heart draw. Puts in the raise on the flop. Why the hell not? Timothy with jacks is going nowhere, but he's not a big fan of seeing this, if we're being honest. There could still be some 10x that does this. So let's go to the turn. 2 of hearts, giving Big Honey another crazy draw. Open-ended straight draw with the flush draw to boot. He's going to bet about 75% on the turn. Put Timothy in a weird spot. Oh boy, a 7 on the river. Timothy, the spot just got weirder. He's blocking the straight that gets there. Both the flush draws miss. And Big Honey sized up a river jam. It's another undercard to your jacks for Timothy, and he leads out 10%. Hopefully this saves him. Although if I'm being honest, it's going to be hard to fold jacks on the river facing the raise here. So 8-7 makes a boat, 10-8 is a flop boat, 10-10 is a flop boat. Big Honey jams. There won't be like deuces. 7s, I don't think 7s are going to go like this. So Timothy's looking at a few boats in the Jack 9 straight. 10-8 suited? Maybe. Yeah, probably going to be in there. Nice fold from Timothy, blocking the straight. He says, I'm just going to let this one go. The river's not the best. Both flush draws did miss. It's a very interesting spot for Tim. Finds the right fold. We move along. Ace 3 suited. Timothy will be right back in there. He's a flop top pair. Bad timing though, as Big Honey's got a better kicker with the queen. Ladivio in the big blind with a straight draw to the 7 and backdoor diamonds. It's got some check raising potentials, although it's an ace high board, so I don't think we're gonna do it. Let's see what Ledevio thinks. They are gonna come along to the turn with their equity. Got 4 clean outs to a 7. Got a 3 on the turn. That's no help. 3 of spades. Nice fold from Timothy on the flop with the ace 3. Would have made 2 pairs, but he did read the situation quite well. Spot where you'd think Big Honey will have plenty of draws, but he might just be checking back on the flop. Ledevio for 10 blinds will take the ace high and rip it on in. Jack 8 suited for Big Hun. I'll open it on up. Ledevio with the ace queen. Plays call. 10s for Wushu. Surely gonna stick it all in. Big Honey folds. Ledevio won't. Any aces or queens? Nope. Wushu does hold with 10s this time. 10s has been Wushu's hand. They're hanging on out with 24 blinds now, right back in the game. They're right behind Wizzo, right behind Timothy. Wushu on the button will raise ace jack. Oh my lord, and Big Honey gets aggressive with 9 deuce. What's going on here? Wushu jams. Way to read into the spot. The beneficiary of a wide bluff that time. Wushu up to 32 blinds. He does surpass Tim and Wizzo now. 5-5 for Timothy. See if he opens it up. He could just lay it down, but he does go for the open. Big Honey with King Queen suited. They've got options. They play call. Jack 9-3 flop. That's bottom pair for Wizzo, and 5s are still good. Big Honey with a straight draw to the 10 and clubs. 2 overcards. Probably the equity favorite here. 5s will fold. The pair of 3s fold. Surely Big Honey was the favorite there. 8 Jack will go for the open for Big Honey and get it through pre-flop. Poker stars, hurry up with the next hand already. Let's go. We're waiting. Poker stars. Come on now. What are you doing here? Do we fast forward? Nope. There we go. Good shit. Just 10 seconds of misery. Queen Jack for Big Honey goes for the open. Fish with the King 6 will let it go. Wizzo with Ace 9 suited. Not really the best spot to call. We'll see if he goes for the 3-bet. Surely your Ace 9 could be good here. Wizzo says, okay, I'm going to go for the 3-bet all in. Playing 20 big blinds deep. That's pretty much the play. Could go for a non-all-in 3-bet. With Ace 9, it benefits from getting folds pre-flop. The Queen Jack hits the muck. Wizzo up to 27 blinds. Wushu getting nice and aggressive with the 6-5 from the small blind, putting Timothy in a little bit of a pickle. They are now our shorty. They don't face the ICM pressure like the other players do. But the other players seemingly don't really give a shit. Ledevio calling it off with 8-8. Wushu seems like he's playing for first place. Wizzo, interesting happening. He might be hanging out. He might be very cautious of the ICM. Ba-ba-dee-doo. Ledevio goes for a 3-bet facing Fish's open with Ace 8 suited. The Ace 8 hits the muck. Fish has been not necessarily quiet, but they've been card dead. So we haven't heard too much from them. They still have 32 blinds, tied for 3rd place. Do ba do da da ba do. Limp pot 10-5 or sorry 10-3-2 flop. All clubs. Flop goes check check. Ace on the turn, bringing in another club. Ba ba da do. Ba da ba da do. Fish takes a stab. Big Honey calls with the ace. Hard to fire again here in Fish's shoes, but you don't really, want to show down Jack High. Fish does just show him the Jack High. Big Honey says, I've got an ace, bucko. What are you doing on the turn there? Another limp pot. Blind on blind. Wizza with a Jack 4. Checks it back. Ace King 9 flop. 2 clubs for Fish in the backdoor straight draw. They start things off with a lead. That will get Wizza out of there. Big Honey with pocket 5s goes for the open from the cutoff, and Le Devio defends the big with ace 8. 10-9-3 flop. Flop goes check check. King on the turn. 5s are still good for Big Honey. Get a 6 of diamonds on the river. Le Devio could bluff with that ace of diamonds. Also blocks the straight with the 8 of clubs. His 8-7 also gets there on the river. And we do see the overbet with the nut blocker. Big Honey quickly folds. Nice little bluff there from Le Devio. Wizzo thinking about it with deuce 6. Will fold the button. Le Devio limping in queen 3. Wushu with 8-3 could raise pre-flop. Does just check it back. Jack 5-4 flop. 2 hearts for Wushu with the backdoor straight draws. Get the ace on the turn. No help for Wushu. But might want to represent it. Nope. Ace of hearts on the river. Wushu in the tank. Does fire overbet. Putting queen 3 in a pickle. If we can find the call here, this is going to be the call of the day. Nope. Le Devio folds queen 3, of course. Wushu gets one through with the 8-3. That's good timing on Wushu. Or good timing for Wushu. King Queen for Big Honey raises from early position. Under the gun, in fact. Timothy with the queen 9. In the big blind, we'll just find the fold. Wizzo with King Jack will open it up. Big Honey defends the big with King 4. Ace 7 2 flop. 2 spades for Big Honey's 4 of spades. He's gonna let it go, of course. Queen for Wushu. Timothy with King 10 unfortunately sees an open and has to find the fold. Looks like no action for the queens. Folds around the small blind. Fish with an ace. Might just continue the limping strat. No, he goes for the all-in. 24 big blinds deep. Says all-in dealer. It gets through, of course. Wizzo, calling from the small. With the King Jack. Big Honey with 7-6 flops. Middle pair. Checks it back. Deuce on the turn. Alrighty, have a good day. Wizzo gets a free river, and it's a good one for him. Making top pair. Goes for a healthy value bet and even gets paid off. Good time to have King Jack for Wizzo, who's up to 32 blinds and takes 3rd place position. 7-7 for Big Honey. He's right back in there. Le Devio with the King in the small blind. Goes for the healthy 3 bet. We haven't seen too much of this. We'll see how Big Honey proceeds. He calls and goes to the flop. Says we're playing at about 70 big blinds deep. 70 big blinds behind. Playing almost 80 big blinds deep, I should say. Ace 8 6 flop. Le Devio goes for a little bet and the 7s quickly fold. Queen 10, Big Honey's right back in there. Ledevio with a pocket pair. Could play call. He says let's go to the flop. Jack 10 suited for Wushu. I've seen some 3-bet all-ins before. Wushu plays call. Ace 4 3 flop. Ledevio with the 6s. Those are still good. Might put out a little bet here. Try to just buy it on the flop and that will work. 156 or 160k or so will work. Wow, that fucking sentence sucked. Alright, let's move along. King 2 for Big Honey defends the big blind. Ledevio with 3 in a row. We'll check it back. Third heart comes on the turn. Big Honey did pick up a straight draw to the 5. Instead we see an ace on the river after it goes check check. Ledevio checking down the 10 high to the river. Surely we put out a bet here. Right? We just gotta get him to fold this king high. There you go, Ledevio. I gotta say, other than the 8-8, it's been a fair showing from Ledevio. Is gonna go with a 3-bet this time. Has played call with the ace queen. Sees an under the gun raise from Wizzo's 8s. Oh my lord. 8s are running hot here today. Wizzo facing a very small 3-bet pre says I'm pretty well priced in. Let's go to the flop. King Queen 8. Hard to get a better flop for your pocket 8s. He's going for a check raise. That might scare Ledevio away. We'll see what happens. There's so many damn draws out there, you know. Jack 10, Ace 10, Ace Jack, Spades. Now how many of those are going for the check raise in a 3-bet pot? Jack 10 suited surely is. Jack 10 of spades, Jack 10 of hearts. Do-ba-dee-doo, da-da-ba-dee-doo-doo. King on the turn. Wizzo after making the boat checks it on over. He does lose to King Queen. Queen as well. And obviously pocket kings. Ledevio jams, quick call. Any queens dealer? Nope, a deuce of spades. Wizzo gets a full double up from Ledevio. Very interesting hand. We didn't have to call the check raise on the flop. The 3-bet pre, we could call pre-flop. I'm just wondering, could Ledevio have kept this pot smaller so we didn't have to get it all in? It is, as played, it does seem pretty standard. The ace queen jam on the turn, is that standard? Do we just check back the turn? Give him a free river? But there's so many draws out there. It's an interesting pot nonetheless. Wizzo. Up to 63 blinds now. The 4 high will check it down out of position and Wushu will take it with a small pair of 8s. Timothy with ace queen. Bad timing. Oh no. Does stick in most of his chips here. Wizzo with ace king in the big or small blind. We see a couple of kings dead. That doesn't really matter. Timothy needs a queen. Oh, he's got some chop outs. Ace on the turn will chop the pot. That's good news for Tim. Doopity-doo. Timothy survives and he gets pocket jacks. Do-do-do-do-da-da-ba-dee-doo-doo. Looks like he isn't going to get any action here. Too bad for Tim, eh? Ace queen and pocket jacks. And you basically got lucky to be alive. And you picked up the blinds and antes. Pretty well in the same position he was in beforehand. 10-10 for fish. Wushu with ace jack suited in the small blind. Jams it all in. I think we're going to have a flip here for Fish's life. Wushu has about 5 more blinds than him. Fish does find the call and he flops a set. Any kings? The 8 is no good. A 9 wouldn't have worked. We needed to see a king. Wushu loses and he's got 3 blinds. Fish up to 54 now after winning the flip. And we got a nice 4-way battle brewing. Look at this. Big Honey with a big stack. Fish with a bigger stack now. Wizzo with a big stack. And Ledivio, also 60 blinds. Do 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 do. Ace 9-7 flop. Both players with a pair. Big Honey does not like his pair as much. No siree. Plenty of draws out there. Ace high board. Big Honey just gets out of there on the flop. And I gotta say, it's gonna be pretty freaking interesting to see what happens if one of the big stacks, like Big Honey, wants to put a lot of pressure on Fish. Maybe even Timothy. I think it's possible as long as we've got Wushu sitting there with 3 big blinds. We could see some crazy action. Ledivio with Ace Jack. Timothy thinking about it with Ace 8, hopefully just folds. Although if he jammed, that would look pretty damn strong, and Ledivio might fold Ace Jack for 16 blinds in total. Timothy just folds. Wushu with Ace Jack. They're going to stick in the last little bit of their chips. Timothy with Ace 10 suited. Big Honey with Ace 10-0. At least one of them's going to call. Timothy pretty well rips it in. 110 is dead. Timothy's going to need some diamonds. Oh, chop pot. Chop it up. Chop it up. No. A 9, a 3. Not an ace. An ace would not have worked. Wushu gets the full double. 6.5 blinds with 1 committed now. Sees a 3x open from Wizzo. Ledivio with an ace in the small blind. Just finds the fold. Interesting to see if Wushu wants to take the spot with King 8. Does play call and he flops top pair. Great news for Wushu. Wizzo sticks it, or just sweating the ace. Just sweat that ace. Wizzo puts in the remaining chips on the flop. Wushu gets another double, 16 blinds. He's in second last place now, or 5th. Both of those work. Timothy with 12 blinds and a 10 and a 5. He's completely dominated. Fold. Don't know why you would raise, but a raise would work. King 5 suited would fold. Anyways, Timothy moves along. Wushu with a suited ace on the button jams it all in. This will get through pre. Ledivio with a suited ace. We'll eventually find the raise. Timothy with 11 blinds, ace 8 suited. Has the best hand right now. Does find the all-in, good shit. Ledivio might pay it off here, we'll see what happens. He does call. 5 on the flop, spade dealer, come on. Oh no, Timothy's gone in 6th place. Ledivio gets a little lucky there. Once again. Just felt like he was priced into a call. You could still see some king high, maybe some queen, some suited broadways is what I'm thinking. Ledivio's ahead of. So he still finds the call for about 9 more blinds. Wizzo with top pair leading out. Wushu with the overpair. Wet board. Jams it all in. Quick call from Wizzo. He needs a 6. That will do. 6 will do. We lose another body. Wushu running real piss poor here today. That's a damn shame. But we do get the 4-way battle that was brewing. And we're playing about 42 big blinds deep. Should be a fun one. It's another game within the game. Down to 4 players. We got 110k locked up in everybody's shoes in the 10k. So only 11 buy-ins. Next ladder will be for about 3 buy-ins. Wow. When you think about it in buy-ins, it's like these ladders are small. Because then we go to 4 buy-ins. But then you look at it in like dollar-wise. And it's like $110,000, $140,000. 240k for first. Sounds like a lot. Poker's a silly game. Fish with 7s goes for the open. Ledivio deep in the tank with Jack. Could call, could 3-bet. Finds the 3-bet. Fish is gonna be in a weird spot. Like, what the hell did he just tank for like 20 seconds with, and then he finds the 3-bet? Don't jam. Don't do it. Plays call, king, king, 3 flop. Fish without a spade. We'll see if he even continues. We don't see the flop bet. 1.6 mil in the middle. 9 on the turn. The Divio checks the jacks once again. 10 on the river. Jacks, thinking about going for a value bet. They do block the old queen jack. Could get called by a 9 or 10. That's a healthy bet though. 1.4 mil into about 1.6. That won't get called by the 7s. The Divio will just scoop that pot with a 3-bet pre-flop. Ace queen for big honey. Gonna limp it on into Fish's big blind. Flops top pair. Fish with a pair of 8s. Backdoor straight draw. Ace queen going for a healthy value bet. Gets called by the 8s. We get a pretty big brick on the turn. Does bring in another flush draw. And some wheel draws. 3-4 is also open-ended. If it's in, it's a limp pot, so it could be. Big honey betting full pot, and the pair of 8s does just find the fold on the turn. 8-7 on the button for big hun. They're gonna open on up. 4-4 for Fish is thinking about doing something. Just finds the fold. Queen jack will call the big blind. Queen 10 2 flop. Goes check check. 9 on the turn. Wizzo top pair. The straight draw to the 8 or king, and any club would work. Big honey with a straight draw just finds the fold. 8-10 goes for the open. Fish with ace king suited on the button. Goes for the 3-bet. Picks a small size so big honey can't come to the flop if he wants to. That he does. Queen 7-3. 1 heart for Fish, no diamonds for big honey. Although he's got some backdoor straight draws. We'll see if he gets to the turn. She's a very small bet and says my backdoor straight draws is just not enough to continue with. And big honey folds. 5-8 for Lediview. Checks it on over in the limp pot. Queen 2 doesn't stab. And just finds the fold on the brick turn. Maybe a 3 wasn't a brick. Did it bring in a straight? Okay, I gotta put my glasses on. Ledivio with the Queen 10 goes for the open. Ace 8 plays call from the small. 9 of spades on the turn is an interesting card. Both players playing 3 of a kind. Big honey with a flush draw. Ledivio with a boat draw to the queen or 10. We both got a 4 of a kind draw. Ledivio bets real large and we get a deuce of spades on the river. Weird pot here. 1.4 in the middle. Ledivio bets 200k. Did I see that right? 2 big blinds? Missed a digit. Oh no. Oh, that's hilarious. I mean, it's really sad to see, but at least we know Ledivio isn't just out here clicking buttons. He's going for a big bluff. With the Queen 10. He isn't. I don't know if he's getting the flush to fold on the river there. He's obviously repping a boat, a strong pocket pair. It's an interesting hand. It would have been really fun to see if Ledivio put that digit in the middle. Or into their bet. Anyways, we move along. Ace 5 doesn't pick up any equity on the 7 of hearts turn. Still has the best of it. There's 3.2 in the middle. This pot is fucking large. King Queen doesn't improve on the river. Ace High still good. Fish will find the check. Surely he doesn't call if he faces the jam. Hell, even if it's 1 million chips, you can't call. Big Honey finds the all-in. Oh, wee wah. Fish is in the tank. He's thinking about it. Oh, boy. What a call it would be. I'm just trying to prepare myself. I don't even know what the hell would happen. I would just lose my shit. Fish is so deep in the tank. Oh, no. Fish lays it down. It's not an easy call, but Fish was thinking about it. You just think there's so much king, queen, queen, jack that needs to bluff on the river, but then there's also just some pairs of 10s that are going for value. Obviously the 9x, potential boat. Oh no. Fish is down to 25 blinds. Big Honey doing a great job of preserving their chips. They were super aggressive too, picking up the holdings to play. Everything working out in their favor. As we see Wizzo with the absolute nuts. Ladivio with a pair of kings. Deep in the tank. No, don't do it, Ladivio. Good shit. I'm a little worried for Ladivio, if I'm being honest. I'm a little worried for that chip stack. There's a little piece of me that's rooting for him too. As Jacks get a walk for Big Honey, that's horrific. Do-ba-do-do-do-do-ba-dee-do-do. Jack 6 suited for Fish. In the small blind, surely we limp or do something, right? Goes for the big raise. Pre-flop. Wizzo calls with 9-7. Flops backdoor straight draws. Fish with the straight draw to the 3 and the backdoor heart draw. Bets 500k. This will work. Huge bet from Fish. Gets respect. I mean, he had the best hand with Jack High, but it's nice to buy the pot on the flop there. 8-6 for Wizzo. Goes for a big bet pre. Ladivio defends with Ace Jack. 7-3-2 flop. 1 spade for Wizzo. Decides to go for a nice healthy bet on the flop with his 3 in a row. Ladivio calls and he picks up a pair of jacks on the turn. That's horrific for Wizzo. And he continues to fire away, betting half pot. Oh no, he's got no equity here. Surely Ladivio doesn't fold, right? Plays call, jack on the river, now we can't fold. And Wizzo sitting there with 8 high, might jam it all in. Don't do it. Check. Give it up. No, don't bluff. Don't bluff. Check. It's in you. And he finds the check. Good shit. Ladivio, thinking about it, will go all in surely. Pretty well all in. 2.4 mil, leaving himself with 400k. Do. I wonder if he could bet smaller there and try to get called by a 7 or something silly. Maybe an ace high. It's going to be hard. Maybe a pocket pair. 8s through 10s or something. Ace queen suited. Ladivio goes for another 3 bet from the small blind this time, and it will get through. Wizzo with 10s will be right back in there. Fish with 7-4 in the big blind will let it go. Do Ladivio. That's not even how you pronounce this person's name, but surely everybody will understand. They have ace king. Deuces for Big Honey. Ace high board. That's good news for Ladivio. Four on the turn after the flop goes check. Surely we put in a bet here with our ace king. Very healthy, about 2/3, and Big Honey quickly folds. King queen versus an ace and a queen. Wizzo with jack 8 suited in the small blind. We'll see if he comes along. Nope, just gonna fold. So we get the ace king versus king queen. Ace queen can call or raise. Jams, okay. Fish is playing off 27 blinds. So the jam makes some sense. Could go for the non-all-in 3-bet. Anyways, they chose jam. Fish with ace jack. Big Hun will call the big blind with 9 jack. Bad timing. Fish with top pair. Big Honey has the backdoor diamond draw. We'll just let it go to the flop bet. Ace jack for Ladivio will raise and take it down pre. And then they get the pocket sixes. Be another raise. This time Big Honey will at least call with the ace 10. Wizzo gonna fold 9-3. We got a 10-6-2 flop. Another set for Ladivio. And we're playing 76 big blinds behind. Top pair, top kicker goes for a value bet. Ladivio calls diamond on the turn. That's gonna save Big Honey. It's an overcard to his 10. Oh boy, and we get another diamond on the river. Surely the set checks. Would be interesting to turn. Whoa, the set bets. It's going to try to get called by a 10. Big Honey does pay it off. Nice little value bet on the river from Ladivio. I would not have found it. I was going to say it would be interesting to see if Big Honey turns their pair 10s into a bluff on the river if checked to. But it looks like after calling the bet on the river, he probably would have just checked it back if it's checked to him. Wizzo with queen 3 suited. We'll open up the button. Ladivio with the king 7 will call from the small. Queen jack 4 flop. Good news for Wizzo. No hearts for Ladivio. Backdoor straight draw. That's not going to be enough to continue, although it's a very small size. Wizzo gives him a great price to come along. And Ladivio folds. Ace 4 for 25 blinds. Just open, rips it on in, and Fish has to fold his big. Wizzo getting a walk. That's good news for them with 2-3. Queen 10 suited for Big Hun. Ladivio in the big with king 10. Jack 10 7 flop. No clubs for Big Honey. There's one on the turn, but that's not going to help. Ladivio goes for a nice little value bet here again. Big Honey, after checking back the flop, surely feels like he has to call at least one. We get a deuce on the river, completing the flush draw. And Ladivio finds another thin value bet, and he gets paid off once again. That's a great value bet from the king 10. Getting queen 10 to pay off. Surely it would just check back the river. Another one of those spots. Just like the ace 10. We got ace 10 versus king queen. These two are going to war. Huge bet. 420k. 3.5x. King 7 3 flop. This is what we came to see. Nobody's got a pair. The pot's brewed. And about half pot from Ladivio's backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw, and the king queen just folds. Wizzo with ace queen, but doesn't get any action. That's no fun. Jack 9 for Big Honey. We'll fold the button. King jack suited for Big Honey. They'll raise from the cutoff. 3's in the big blind with 1-3 dead. That's bad news for Ladivio. Ace queen 5 flop. Big Honey checks it back. Has a straight draw to the 10 in the backdoor diamond draw. Steady makes a pair of kings. Ladivio with a little spade. deep in the tank, and he bets 2x pot. And Big Honey will fold. Whoa, wee wah. What a play from Ladivio. Repping the flush. Whoa, wee wah. Uh-oh, Fish has 8s. Big Honey with kings. We see an 8 folded. Hopefully Fish can find the fold. I don't think so. We're 4-handed and we got a pocket pair. Fold. I think I'm calling. Doopity-doo. Fish finds the call. He's going to need an 8. King on the turn deads him. Just like that, Fish is gone. We got 3 players left, and we're playing 40 blinds deep. Whoo. Wizzo in the big blind with 9-10. We'll play call. Has a straight draw to the 8. Gets a free turn, which is the ace of spades. Good news for Ladivio. Overbet again. Another one getting through. Interesting choice to overbet that time. Big sizing pre-flop from the 5-4 suited, and Ladivio does call with king 2 of spades. Jack 8-7 flop. Both players with the backdoor flush draws. Wizzo with the straight draw to the 6. Does see a very small bet, and he bangs off his straight on the turn. Thankfully for Ladivio, he doesn't pick up any equity, so we can check down. We get a 3 of spades on the river. Wizzo overbets with the straight, and Ladivio quickly folds. Queen 8 will open the button. Ace 9 from the small will call. 10-7-2 flop goes check. We get a jack on the turn. Wizzo with a straight draw. We'll bet and get the best hand to fold. Queen 2, looks like they limp it in. 5-4 says let's go to the flop. Ace 8-7. Another straight draw to the 6 for Wizzo. 3 on the turn. Wizzo picking up even more equity to the deuce. Betting quite large with his double gutter. And that will get through. Ace 5 suited goes for the open for Big Hun. And gets it through pre-flop. Wizzo will fold the button. Ladivio with the decision with the king 5 from the small. Plays call. 10-3-3 flop. Big Honey with top pair checks it back. Deuce on the turn. Bringing in the diamond draw that Ladivio doesn't have. We're going to fold the king high on the turn and move along. Queen 7 suited for Ladivio. Goes for the open. Jack 9 suited from the small blind. Goes for the 3-bet. Wizzo going to have to lay down king 9 now. Queen 7 also probably going to fold. 9-10 will open the button for Big Hun. Wizzo with the pocket pair calls from the small. Ace 5 in the big blind can also complete. Couldn't raise even. There's the raise we see. What the hell is Wizzo gonna do with the pocket 8s? Jams all in. Back raise. All in dealer. That's what I'm gonna do with pocket 8s. Gets 8s again the very next hand. No action this time. And then a walk for Wizzo. So look at that. They just pretty well tied this thing up. We're all chilling around the 60 big blind mark. King high board and both players with top pair. That's bad news for Big Hun. Does have backdoor straight draw. Faces the check raise on the flop. Ace on the turn. Might slow both players down. 4 on the river, so we're going to chop this bad boy up. Providing there's no folding. Whoa, 2.6 mil? Whoa, okay, well now there's going to be a fold from Big Hun. Ladivio turns her hand into a bluff pretty much. Takes away the chop pot. Well, I was not expecting that. 10-8 versus due 8. We got no pairs going on. Little straight draw for Ladivio. They're going to lead out on the turn. Big Hun folds. Queen 3 suited for Ladivio. 10-7 suited for Wizzo. We had a King 3, 10 flop. Small bet from Ladivio's pair of threes. Wizzo can't fold on the flop here. Whoa, he goes in the tank and he folds the 10 on the flop. Okay. 4-4 limps it in and faces a raise. 10-8 suited for Ladivio. Doesn't flop too well. Has backdoor straight draws. Starts things off with a bet. Wizzo calls with the pair. Oh no, we get a 10 on the river, so Ladivio will scoop this one. Do-ba-dee-doo, do-do-ba-dee-doo-doo. Wizzo thinking about it with 4 deuce, but will fold. Ladivio with King Jack suited. Goes for the big sizing pre-flop, 3.5x. 7-7-6 flop. Not too bad for Big Honey's ace 9. It gets even better on the turn. Ladivio with nothing doing. We'll check over the king high. We'll get a free river. Get the 8 of spades. Big Honey will go for a healthy value bet, and the king high quickly folds. Ladivio with Queen 7 of diamonds again. Raising the button. Facing a 3 bet this time. Oh no, we did last time too. Quickly folds. Another ace 5 suited on the button for Big Hun. King Jack 10 flop. Good news for Ladivio. Middle pair and the open ender completes on the turn with the flush draw to boot. Big Honey doesn't pick up any equity, so they check back the turn. And gonna have an easy fold on the river. Do-do-do-do-do-do-ba-dee-do-do. Ladivio limping in 9-10. Big Honey checks back the 4-7. Flops bottom pair, bets a couple blinds, and gets a call. 8 on the turn. Ladivio doesn't make a straight draw. Gonna feel the need to bluff with his 10 high, sorry. Overbet once again. It's getting relentless, and Big Honey folds a pair. A7 suited for Big Hun. Raising the button. Ladivio in the big blind with King Queen. Could raise, could call. Goes for the 3 bet. Big Honey with the suited ace in position plays call. King 10-4 flop. Only 1 club for Big Hun. He's going to need to see a small bet to continue. 1.2 mil is the bet. That's going to just price Big Honey out of the pot. Way too big of a bet. Wizzo with King 7. Lets it go. Ladivio limping 10-7-0. Big Honey raising ace jack. And the raise gets through. Limp pot. Ace Queen 10 flop. Straight draw for Big Honey. They check it on over. 3 on the turn. No help for Wizzo's 7 high. Ooh, 7 on the river. I was going to say fire a bet. Big Honey just looking to show down the jack high, and Wizzo shows him that he makes a pair on the river. Queen 6 suited, open the button. 7's in the big blind, place call. Ace 10-5 flop. Goes check, 9 on the turn. Ladivio with the pair and the flush draw, sorry. No straight draw for him. Get a 4 hearts on the river. Big Honey just shows down the queen high, and Ladivio wins the pot. 9-3 suited for Wizzo. Lets it go. Ladivio limping in the small once again. is dominating Big Honey's 6-5, but the 6-5 has a straight draw to the 7. We get a king of spades on the turn. Ladivio leads out, and Big Honey folds their straight draw. Jack 10 for Ladivio, raise and take it down pre. They're up over 100 blinds now. It's cool to see. Limp pot, Ladivio says, no, not no more. I'm gonna raise this bad boy up. And Wizzo folds 8-5. King 5 suited, Wizzo will raise. Big Honey might defend the big blind with Queen 6. That they do, they're suited. They flop a straight draw to the 4 in the backdoor of spades. Top pair, second best kicker for Wizzo. Making 2 pair on the turn. Top 2, the flush completes though. Bets about a third. Big Honey just finds the fold. I mean, he had a straight draw to the 3. When the flush completes, it's time to move along. Limp raise call. 9-7-4 flop. Wizzo with the flush draw. 2 overcards, bets and takes it down. Limp pot, queen, king, jack flop. Goes check, check. 3 on the turn. Goes check. 2x overbet, or 1.5? Holy shit, Ladivio is second pair. 5s versus 4s. Big Honey jams it all in. Huge bet. Ladivio does call it off. He flops so well, and 4 on the turn will make a straight for Big Hun. No diamond for Ladivio. No boat for Ladivio. And just like that, the 5s hold. Big Honey back in first place with 69 blinds. Very nice. Has top pair here. Wizzo with a straight draw. Sees a half pot size bet. Will call and bang it off on the river. Big Honey checks it on over. Diamonds complete. Pretty bad river for your ace 8. You see a healthy bet. Right around 75%, maybe even more. Nice fold from Big Honey. Huge pot going Wizzo's way. Blinds go up. Even Steven is right. We're right back to evened up. Do. Jack 4 goes for a bet on the queen 8-6 flop. Wizzo calls with the ace high. We get a jack on the river. Do. Ladivio bets a reasonable size with their pair, trying to get called by an 8 or 6. Not gonna happen this time. Limp pot. 9-6-3 flop goes check. Ace of clubs on the turn. Ladivio leads out with their nothing draw. Repping the club. Big Honey shows him the ace, and that's good for the pot. Queen 5 suited for Ladivio, raising, and 10-5 suited completes the big blind for Wizzo. Jack 10-3 flop, 2 diamonds. Action flop here. 10 of diamonds on the turn. Horrific turn for Wizzo. Ladivio makes their flush. 3 of a kind for Wizzo. Ladivio likes the overbets, but this time chooses non-overbet. Does Wizzo check raise? No, he's just going to call, and he makes a boat on the river. That's great news for Wizzo. Your opponent's got the flush. He's got the top boat. I guess he loses to jacks. My bad. Not top boat, but second top boat. Smaller value bet on the river from Ladivio. Facing the all-in, he snap folds, moves along with his 30 blinds. What a dirty turn and river for Ladivio. 3-way flop, Jack 6-3. 1 spade for Big Honey. He's open-ended as well. Goes for a little bit more than half pot. Wizzo calls with the king queen. 3 in a row in the backdoor spade draw. Top pair for Ladivio also comes along. We get the ace of hearts on the turn. Good card for Big Honey to fire away. They do. 1.4 mil into 2.4. Wizzo folds the king queen. Hard to call here with a pair of jacks. Hopefully Ladivio can find it. Jack on the river after they call. They aren't going nowhere. Big Honey's got 5 high. He might even bluff. All in and a snap call from the 3 of a kind. Huge pot for Ladivio. Back up to 70 blinds. He's got pocket 9s. Calling from the small. Big Honey with the king 7 lets it go. 10-7 deuce flop. 2 clubs for Wizzo. They check it back and pick up a pair of 4s. Ladivio overbets the 9s. Second pair once again. We get a call from Wizzo's pair of 4s in the club draw. Queen of hearts on the river. Ladivio finds another value bet. Picks a reasonable size. Wizzo might pay this off. Deep in the tank. And it's about time somebody pays it off. Ladivio gets a huge value bet in on the turn. A nice value bet in on the river. And Wizzo jams 4s into kings. And a 4's on the flop. We're going to lose Big Honey just like that. Huge pot going Wizzo's way. Holy shit. Alrighty, so we're heads up playing 80 blinds deep. Limp raise, call pot. 9-6-3 flop. Ladivio with a pair of 6s backdoor flush draw will bet and take it down. Feels like this one's gonna go quickly. There's gonna be a lot of betting. Feels just like there's gonna be a lot of swings. Raise from the king 6. Ladivio with queen 9 suited. Surely gonna play this. Decides for the 3 bet. Wizzo folds the king high. Jack 5 limps in. Wizzo with pocket 7s. Going to go for the raise to 600k. Ladivio calls with Jack 5. 10-9 4 flop. Wizzo checks it over. 3 in a row for Ladivio. Starts things off with a small bet about a quarter pot. Wizzo quickly calls ace on the turn. Goes check 10 on the river. 2 million chips in the middle. Ladivio doesn't want them. Wizzo gets showdown. Shows him the 7s. Both players with a pair. This is bad news for Ladivio. Puts in the check raise. Okay, makes 2 pair on the turn. All good news for Ladivio. He checks it on over. No flush draw out there. Wizzo puts in a small bet. Are we going for the double check raise? The double check raise comes in. Huge bet and Wizzo folds top pair. Looks like the bet was just too large there. 7-9 goes to the raise. 2-5 calls. Jack 7-4 flop. Pair of 7s goes for a healthy value bet, and the bet gets through. Ace King raising, getting called by 5-8. 10-9 deuce flop. Ace King bets and takes it down. Another Ace King for Wizzo. Facing a raise, we'll go for the 3 bet. Ladivio quickly folds the suited 9. 10-8 limps in. Ladivio raising queen 9, flopping a pair of 9s. Wizzo with 3 in a row. Right around a 40% bet. And Wizzo folds. Ladivio with queen jack suited. Gonna go for the raise, face a 3 bet from the ace jack suited. We're going to the flop. King queen 6. No spades for Wizzo, but they like the board enough for a bet. Ladivio calls with the pair of queens. Wizzo's fighting for the 4 mil in the middle. Bets 2 million chips. Ladivio calls once again. 8 million chips in the middle. And Wizzo finds the all-in. Surely this works, right? Would just be the end of the game if Ladivio can find the call, but with second pair, I don't think so. 3-bet pre. Bomb. 3 barrels, and the bet gets through. King 10-5 flop goes check. Queen on the river, or turn goes check. 8 on the river. Ladivio goes for a nice little value bet. Wizzo with the ace high. We'll just let it go. Ladivio with ace jack, flopping top pair. Nothing doing for Wizzo though. 2/3 pot size bet will get through. Jack 3 goes for the limp. 7-3 checks it back. Flops the flush draw. Backdoor straight draw to boot. Wizzo in position will bet and just take it down on the flop. King queen for Ladivio. 10-5 suited for Wizzo. Was in the tank. I was wondering if he's going to go for a raise. Doesn't make much sense. You could just call, go to the flop. Jack 6-2. 3 in a row for Ladivio. They bet and take it down. Limp pot. Ladivio says, nope, I'm going to raise with my suited ace. And takes it down pre-flop. King Jack 4 flop. Ladivio in position. No club. Backdoor straight draw to the Queen 10. That's dominated by Wizzo with the ace 7 of clubs, who makes a flush on the turn. 1 million chips in the middle. Right around 600k is the bet. Wizzo calls. The board pairs on the river. Ladivio with 9 high. Overbet just barely. Wizzo going deep in the tank. Not going to be an easy call for him here. They're even going to lay it down, of course. Just with the 7 high flush, the board pairs. It's all bad news. Huge bluff gets through for Ladivio, and we're tied up again. Playing 80 some blinds deep. Deuce 5 goes for the raise pre-flop, and he flops a pair of 5s. Wizzo with the Queen Jack with a club is going to have to continue to the turn. 4 of diamonds, so that locks up the board for no, he doesn't. There's still the club draw. Ladivio with a little straight. 700k is the bet from Wizzo repping the flush, which misses on the river. Board pairs. 4 million chips in the middle. 2.8 is the bet and a snap call. Ladivio wins a huge one. Now up to 117 blinds. Wizzo with 50. 6-3 with top pair versus Wizzo's bottom pair. Backdoor flush draw and the straight draw to the 3. Got a lot going on here. Got a bet and a call. 10 of hearts on the turn. Ladivio picking up the heart draw. Feels like he can still get some more value, and the 4-2 calls once again. Queen on the river. The heart draw misses. Ladivio isn't going to find another value bet. And they'll just take down another nice pot. 8-9 with no showdown value. Checks it on over. Wizzo takes it with the king high. A7 goes for a raise on the button. 4-3 calls from the big. Jack 10 8 flop goes check 8 on the turn. Just nothing doing for 4-3. A7 takes that one. Ladivio raising 8-5. 3-5 defends the big blind and flops a pair. Ladivio with some backdoor straight draws. Checks it back, flop or turns a pair of 5s, 2 pair for Wizzo bets and takes it down. Ladivio picking up some equity, didn't even call. Says I'm just done with it. Queen 9 versus 10 9. Ace 5 4 flop goes check check 5 on the turn. Goes check check queen on the river. Wizzo checks over the 10 high. The Divio wants some value, but there's none to be had. 10-7 limps it in. The Divio with ace jack goes for the raise and gets a call. 9-8 4 flop. Wizzo's open-ended to the jack or 6. Oh, how dirty a jack would be. 8 of spades on the turn. Wizzo fires away again and the Divio folds the best of it. Limp raise and a call from the queen 6. Queen 8 2 flop, no clubs. Both players with a pair though. Do. 6 on the turn, giving the Divio top and middle pair. Top and third pair. They're going to go for a healthy 1 million chip bet. Queen on the river, giving him a boat. Wizzo with ace 8 may pay off a river bet, depending on the size. All in, that's probably not going to work. Wizzo does fold ace 8. If he had the flush there, he's probably paying it off, but not this time. 6-2 flops a straight draw to the 4 in the backdoor club draw. Goes for a little bet. The Divio with king jack goes for the check raise and gets a call. 10 on the turn. No club for Wizzo, so he's probably going to fold if he faces any more bets. 1.2 mil quickly gets a fold. Blinds go up. Ace 7 for Divio. Raising the button. Queen 6 calls and flops middle pair. Flop goes check check jack on the turn. Wizzo bets 560k and takes it down. Then he gets the aces. King 5 calls from the big. 10-8 6 flop. Divio quickly folds. Limp pot. Ace 9 flop. 3 in a row for Wizzo. Backdoor flush draw for Divio. Divio in position. Bets small and he faces the check raise and he has to fold. Nice play by Wizzo with a 3 in a row. King queen for Divio. 6-3 in the big blind for Wizzo. Plays raise. Whoa. King queen calls. Ace 5 2 flop. Good flop for Wizzo. Bets 600k, and on the ace high board the king queen will just lay it down. Could have always came along to the turn, but this time we'll just fold. Big pot going Wizzo's way. Divio out of position with the open ender. The straight draw misses. He's got 7 high. Wizzo makes a pair on the river, so he snap calls, blocking the flush too. Another nice pot going Wizzo's way. Another raise from the big blind, and Divio lays down king 10. Wizzo getting away with some 3 bets. Ace king for Divio. Gonna go for the 3 bet himself. 10-7 calls. Jack 10 2 flop. 2 overs and the gutter to the queen for Divio. Checks it on over. 2.3 in the middle. Wizzo checks it back. 3 on the turn. Divio bets small. Wizzo raises with the pair 10s, putting ace king in a pickle. Ace king calls deuce on the river. River goes check. Wizzo takes the lead. Ace queen for Divio. We'll see if it can do him any better. No, just a raise and take down. King 10 suited for Wizzo. 5-8 for Divio. Doesn't flop well enough to continue. Queen 8 suited, limps it in. Jack 10 6 flop. Straight draw in the back door, flush draw, bets, and gets ace high out of there. King 7, flopping top pair. Betting small, getting called by second pair, and he turns 3 of a kind. That's good news for Wizzo. All the draws are still out there, and they brick on the river. Nothing gets there. 5 of hearts. The Divio probably gonna call down with the pair of 10s here. Oh, when he finds the fold, beautiful fold. Good shit from Ladivio. I thought for sure he's just gonna find the call. Wizzo gets just the value bet in on the turn and flop. On a brick river. Ladivio finds a nice fold. Pair of 7s get no action for Ladivio. And he's got the old 8-4. Doesn't flop anything, has to fold. Then gets a old deuce 9. Just gonna lay it down. Ace queen gets a walk. Oh no, deuces versus 9s. This doesn't get in pre. What am I talking about? Or thinking about? I just saw 2 pocket pairs. Didn't realize the Divio 60 blinds deep. Goes to the check raise on the flop here though. King on the turn. 1.7 mil in the middle. Wizzo bets 800k. The Divio does just find the fold on the turn though. That's good news for them. King 4 raising the button. Jack 5 defends the big blind. Ace 8-6 flop goes check 6 on the turn. Wizzo leads with Jack 5. Excuse me. Wizzo led with Jack 5 and took it down. Interesting pot. Both players with ace 3, they'll chop that one up. Jack 4 for Ladivio, limping in. Queen 9 for Wizzo goes for the raise, and he'll take it down pre. 10-6 versus 5-6. 5-6 with the flush draw. Ladivio with the pair. 8 of clubs on the turn. That's an open ender for Wizzo. He bets large and takes it down. Good news for Wizzo. Has a healthy chip lead, 100 blinds to about 50. 5-6 flopping a pair of 6s, checks it back. 10 of hearts on the turn. Interesting card. The Divio looking for an 8, a queen, or a heart. Jack of hearts on the river will do. Board does pair, but still we're going for value with our flush. 2.3 mil. Wizzo does just quickly fold. 9-5 for Wizzo. They're gonna check it back after thinking things through. Jack 3-2 flop. Goes check. 10 on the turn. Ladivio picks up and out to the 9. 7, 8, or 9 will do. They bet about half pot, and the bet gets through. Wizzo, raising 5-4. This one gets through pre. AC deucey versus 3s. Flop goes check. Deuce on the turn. Bet from 3s, and the deuce calls. River goes check. Wizzo takes a little pot. 10-6 deuce flop goes check. 4 on the turn. The Divio call in with their pair and straight draw. Jack on the river. Sees another bet and Ladivio pays it off. 2.4 mil slides Wizzo's way. Queen 10 versus King 10. Ladivio in the tank. Might go for the raise. Does find it. Wizzo calls and he flops top pair. Good news for Wizzo. Ladivio's the backdoor straight draw. Backdoor flush draw. Or the king, that will do. The king will do, dealer. 3 million chips in the middle. Wizzo just looking for a queen now. We get the ace of hearts. Surely this just goes check. Unless Wizzo wants to bluff with their third pair and their heart blocker, their straight blocker. But no, they just check it down. And the Divio takes the pot. king high, going for a healthy value, or not value bet, a healthy bet on the flop. Pair of sevens calls, and the king high continues, blocking some flush draws that will call, blocking some straight draws that will call. Oh no, another king on the river. The Divio getting lucky here. 4.2 million chips in the middle. And 4.6 is the bet. Wizzo folds third pair. Would have been interesting to see what would have happened on the river had the king not come. Would Ledivio still fire away? Feels like you have to, but we'll never know. Queen 6 taking a stab on the ace 3-4 flop. With the backdoor straight draws and flush draws, Ledivio gets it through. 8-8 for Wizzo. King 4 for Ledivio. Ace, oh sorry, what am I saying ace for? Goes for a 1.4 million chip 3 bet. Jack 5 3 flop. Ooh, what did I say ace for? I don't know. 8's call. 8's call on the flop. 6 on the turn. Having a little bit of a stroke or something. 1.8 million chip bet on the turn. 8's come along. Deuce on the river. That's another, well, not another straight. This time it's a straight for Ledivio. But another river where he gets there. He jams all in. Wizzo does fold the 8s now. King for Ledivio. His hot run is continuing. Wizzo with an ace. We'll call pre-flop. Queen, jack. Flop. 7 on the turn, giving Wizzo a pair. They're gonna bet small. King's call. Deuce on the river. 800k value bet from Wizzo. And Ledivio's sizing up a raise. 2.6 mil is the bet. Nice fold from Wizzo. 30 blinds and top pair with a fair kicker. Wizzo bets small. Ledivio folds his junk. 6-4 will raise. Jack 9 calls. King 9-7 flop. 6 on the turn after the flop goes check. Wizzo leads with second pair, and bottom pair for Ledivio just folds. Top pair versus bottom pair. Ledivio does call for 1. King on the turn. Surely he'll give up now. He's out of there. King deuce for Ledivio. Raising from the button. 10-5 suited calls the big. Ace jack flop. Small bet from Ledivio gets through. Doopity-doo. King deuce versus a flush draw. 10-7-5 flop. Wizzo checks it back. 5 on the turn. Brings in another flush draw to the hearts. Ledivio bets and takes it down. Good shit for Ledivio. Wizzo with king 9. Goes for the re-raise pre-flop. Ledivio does just fold second pair on the flop. Interesting stuff. We've seen that from Wizzo too. Interesting. 8-8 for Ledivio. Going for some value on the queen 6-2 flop. Wizzo with king high. No real backdoor draw. Just lets it go. 10-9 3 flop. Gets a big bet from Wizzo with 3 in a row, and that will get through. 7-6 suited will call, surely. Flop bottom pair. Wizzo gets all the way down to the river. Ledivio just shows down the ace high, and Wizzo takes a little pot. Ace 9 versus king jack. 7-4 2 flop goes check. King of hearts on the turn. Wizzo does have a heart. Oh, but he faces an overbet. Wizzo still plays call. 6 on the river, sorry. Ledivio in the tank. Bets 2.4 mil. Wizzo relinquishes the ace high. Limp pot. 7-7 6 flop. goes check, check. 5 on the turn. Both players with a straight draw. We get a bet and a call. 3 on the river. Wizzo with 8 high. Bluffs away. Gets it on through. Good shit. 6-6 will raise and take it down pre. Jack 9 for Ledivio limping in. Wizzo with pair of 10s checks it on over. Ledivio with the open ender to this 8 or king. Wizzo check calls the flop 6 on the turn. Ledivio fires away again. Another call. Bink. 8 on the river. Ledivio's run has continued. Man, they're getting some good cards. Wizzo with the straight blocker, and the second pair finds the call and sees the bad news. Do 26 blinds for Wizzo. Second pair betting small. Ledivio with another straight draw and 2 overs goes for the check raise. Wizzo calls, ace on the turn. Another bet from Ledivio about half pot. Sizing up the river jam, we get a queen on the river, so Wizzo makes 2 pair. Ledivio's bluff didn't get there, and he just check folds it. Blinds go up. We got 10s versus queen 3 suited. King 6 flop goes check, check. Jack on the turn goes check, check. Ace on the river. Wizzo blocking queen 10. Checks it over. Ledivio checks it back and takes it down. Wizzo limping in. 5-3 for Ledivio. Has nothing doing here. Check and a fold on the turn. And I'm moving along. Jack 3 raising the button. Ace 6 for Wizzo. Plays call, flop and top pair. Ledivio with some backdoor equity. Starts things off with a bet. King on the turn. So Ledivio picking up a straight draw to the queen. Just straight up blocks queen jack. The absolute nards. He could go for the overbet here. No, goes for a reasonable sizing. Does still size up the river jam. Ace on the river. Oh boy, it would be bad timing. Ledivio finds the all-in and a quick call from the ace 6. Ledivio gets shown the bad news. So just like that, Wizzo right back in the game with 54 blinds. Has an ace in the big. Let's go to the flop dealer. Queen 9-6. 1 million chips in the middle. King 7 bets quite large. A little bit over 500k, and the bet will get through. 10-9, limping it in. Ace 7 goes for the raise. 4 big blinds to go, or in total to go. 10-9 calls. 10-8-6 flop. All spades. Got a straight flush draw. And top 2 pair for Ledivio. The straight flush draw for Wizzo is also blocked as he makes a straight on the turn. The straight gets longer. So this looks to be a nice pot going Wizzo's way. He's betting full pot. It's hard to fold top 2 when you're blocking the flush. Can we find it? No, Ledivio does pay it off. Not surprised to see it. Wizzo up to 16 million chips, 82 blinds. Now has the commanding lead in top pair. Backdoor flush draw, betting large. And taking the pot down on the flop. All when then Wizzo has queens. Limp, raise, and king 7 just quickly folds. Queen 10-8 flop. Wizzo in position with second pair in the backdoor flush draw. Bets and takes it down. Ace king for Ledivio. Raising it up. Queen 3 calls. Jack 9-8 flop goes check check. King on the turn. Wizzo leads blocking queen 10. Ledivio with top pair top kicker. Plays call. 3 of diamonds on the river. So Wizzo picks up a pair. And diamonds complete. Wizzo check folds. Limp raise from the ace jack. Sorry, there's a limp from Wizzo, then a raise from the ace jack, and then 3-7 folds. Jack 9 thinking about defending the big blind. Plays call. King 6-4 flop goes check check 4 on the turn. Uh-oh. Turn goes check check, jack on the river. Both players with a pair. Large bet from Wizzo will get snapped off by the ace jack. Nice pot going Ledivio's way. Queen jack 5 flop goes check check. King on the turn. Ledivio leads out with bottom pair. Wizzo does call with the ace high, sorry. Nice value bet from Ledivio on the turn there. 10-8 limps it in. Wizzo thinking about going for the raise here, but he'll just check it back. King jack 8 flop goes check check, ace on the turn. Wizzo checks it over, 8 on the river. 3 of a kind for Ledivio, blocking the straight. Sizing up a value bet. Overbet 670k into 450. Wizzo tanks for a second with the 9 high and then lays it down. A6 limping in. 8-10 going for the raise. A7 2 flop, 1.6 million chips in the middle. Backdoor straight draw for Ledivio. Starts things off with a quarter pot size bet. And picks up an 8 on the turn. That'll slow him down. Right? Oh my lord, he goes for another value bet. Or well, this time it's a value bet. Is it? Or is he still bluffing with his second pair? Oh my lord, makes another 8 on the river. Ledivio's run has not ended yet. Wizzo with top pair. Don't we just check it back though? Why'd Ledivio check? Oh no, Ledivio checks. Gets shown the bad news. Wizzo with top pair. I don't know if he calls the third barrel with ace-6, but feels bad to check it on over and have Wizzo check it back. Ooh, acey-deucey stealing the pot away from ace-king. That's good news for Wizzo with the flush blocker. Do top pair, top kicker for Wizzo. We'll bet in position and take it down. Ledivio with ace-8 suited gets no action. Jack 6-5 flop. Not much doing here for either player. Wizzo in position with the best of it. Checks back the flop. 7 on the turn, so Ledivio's open-ended to the 8 or 3. They're going to lead out large. Wizzo with a straight draw to the 4. King high is good. Ace of hearts on the river. Ledivio checks it over and Wizzo will take down that 2 million chip pot. 4-8 for Ledivio. It's suited. He's going to play it. Ace-5 defends the big blind. 10-7-6 flop. 3 spades. Ledivio looking for a 5. A 9 also works for him. We get the deuce of clubs. There's a 5. Wizzo making a pair, blocking the flush. Ledivio making his straight on the river. Bets a million chips. Who knows what to do with ace-5 here? Wizzo does just fold. Good shit. Ba-da-ba-de-do. King 10 facing a limp goes for the raise, and that will get through pre-flop. Jack 6-2 flop. Not much doing for Ledivio's 3-7. Backdoor straight draw. 7 high. We're going to start things off with a third pot size bet. Wizzo with the backdoor flush draw. Plays check raise with their backdoor straight draw to boot. And the raise gets through. $10-5 for Wizzo. We'll take a bet on the turn and that will get through. 7-5 for Ladivio, limping in. Jack 6 checks it back, flopping open-ended to the 4-9, backdoor flush draw to go along with it. Ladivio's got bottom 2 pair. Starts things off with an overbet. Jack 6 calls, ace on the turn. Interesting hand. 2.4 mil. Wizzo's just priced out of the pot. Queen 4 raising, flopping bottom pair. Ladivio with the king high, just check folds. King 7 versus king 4. This is kind of cool. 3-2-2 flop. 1 diamond for Ladivio, he bets real small. Wizzo with the backdoor straight draw, puts in the check raise. The king 7 calls and we get a king on the turn. Uh-oh, bad news for Wizzo. We do got some chop outs. No, we don't. A king? A deuce? We do. Ladivio with the best of it, facing a lead, puts in a healthy bet. Hard to fold top pair on the turn here. Wizzo comes along. A 3 is not a chop out. Spades complete, so the river goes check. Huge pot going Ladivio's way. Do. Ace queen 7 flop. Wizzo goes for a small bet. King deuce floats, and 4 on the turn goes check. Ace on the river. Check. And Ladivio takes it with the king high. Little flush draw here for Ladivio in position. Facing some barrels. Wizzo just with the king high. Still has the best of it. Even on the river. Hard to imagine he jams all in, but he could. Doesn't need to, but he's going to buy this pot here. Had he checked over to Ladivio might be bluffing with their 9 high. So Wizzo takes the opportunity away as we get a raise and a re-raise from the 6-8. King 8. Oh my lord. King queen 7 flop. Goes check. Jack of heart on the turn. Ladivio checks over the 8 high. Wizzo checks back the ace high. Jack on the river. Surely Ladivio bluffs. 1.8 million chips is the bet, and Wizzo quickly folds. Do. Queen 10 raising. Wizzo with 3-4 and a decision. Plays call, flopping a straight draw to the 5 in the backdoor spades. Queen 10 puts in a large bet. Check raise from Wizzo with the straight draw, and this will get through. Do. Ladivio with the queen and the 10. Facing the limp will go for the raise. Take it down pre. Queen 7 this time for Ladivio will raise the button. Wizzo calls the big blind with ace 4. 8-3 flop goes check. 10 on the turn. Goes check. 7 on the river. Ladivio sizing up a bet, trying to get called by ace high. A third pot size will work. Good news for Ladivio. 10-8 flop goes check. 8 on the turn. Ladivio looking for some more value from an ace high, and he gets it. 9 on the river. Wizzo will check down the ace high, and Ladivio takes down another pot. 6-3 suited, limping it in. King queen 8 flop goes check. Wizzo makes it a flush on the turn and leads it out. Takes it down. Ba-ba-dee-doo. Middle pair for Ladivio. Sees a small bet. Wizzo with the backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. Facing a check raise. We didn't want to see this with Jack 6. Wizzo just folds and moves along. Queen Jack suited versus Jack 9 suited. Oh, ace 5-3 flop. This isn't too fun. Ladivio bets small and Wizzo quickly folds. 7-9 versus 8-5. 7-9 limps. Or sorry, ace 8. I say 8-5. Ace 8 raises pre. Flopping top pair. Nothing doing for Wizzo Wizzo facing the half pot size bet, just has to fold. Doop-a-doo-doo. Ace 6 of spades for Ladivio, raising. Jack do a hearts, call in the big blind. Flopping bottom pair. Backdoor heart draw to go along with it. Instead we get a king of diamonds on the turn, 7 of hearts on the river. Ladivio with their straight blocker. Ace high. Goes for the overbet. This would be a huge pot for Wizzo Wizzo to call down with. Find it, Wizzo Wizzo. It's in you. Call. Oh, Wizzo Wizzo lays down the best of it with a pair of twos. That's unfortunate timing for them. Doop-a-dee-doo. After making a few hero calls with the ace high, Wizzo Wizzo says, I'm done making the hero calls. It's time to just lay it down. Top pair for Wizzo Wizzo, trying to get some value on the turn, but when the flush completes, Ladivio just lays down third pair. King 9 limps, facing a raise from 8-5. King 9 calls, flops a pair. Same for Wizzo Wizzo, but it's a weaker pair. Ace of diamonds on the turn, putting a 4 flush out there. Deuce on the river, goes check check, and Ladivio scoops another one. Limp pot, king queen 2 flop, goes check check, ace on the turn, goes check check, ace on the river. Jack high gets called by 10 high. That's some cool stuff right there. That's some cool stuff. Doop-a-dee-doo. King 2 limping it in. Yeah, so Ladivio's been running real hot, but like if we're being honest, he's also playing some good cards. It's been real cool. Jack 3, flopping 3 of a kind. Good timing for Wizzo Wizzo to let King 2 see the flop. Goes for the 2x overbet on the turn, and King 2 quickly folds. 4-8 versus 4 queen. 4-8 in position, bets and takes it down. That's good stuff for Wizzo Wizzo. Top pair with a fair kicker for Wizzo Wizzo. Facing a bet on the flop. Goes for the check raise, and Ladivio quickly folds. 3 of a kind for Ladivio. Facing a half pot size bet, or a big blind. Da-ba-dee-doo. Check raises. Wizzo Wizzo comes along. 6 on the turn. That's no help for Wizzo Wizzo. He's dead. 2 million chips in the middle. 1.5 is the bet. There's so many draws out there. The hearts, the spades. A king jack sort of bullshit, and Wizzo Wizzo does lay it down though. Do-ba-da-do. They move along with their 22 blinds. They jam the ace 6. Get it through pre. Has 9-9. Doesn't look like he's going to get any value on the ace 6-3 flop. 3 of a kind for Wizzo Wizzo. Good time to be holding king 2. Ladivio checking it down to the river. Overbet from Wizzo Wizzo, and Ladivio folds the ace high. Good shit for them. Queen 9-7 flop, goes check check, ace on the turn. Wizzo Wizzo with nothing doing here. We'll let it go. 8-4 versus Queen 7, limp pot. Ace 10-9 flop, goes check check, king on the turn. Wizzo Wizzo with the best of it in a straight draw, calls Jack on the river. All good news for Wizzo Wizzo. As Ladivio sitting here with 8 high, excuse me. Betting him a little bit more than half pot. Facing the check raise. He quickly folds, but Wizzo Wizzo's up to 30 blinds now. It's a nice one going their way. 9-8-4 flop, goes bet call from the bottom oh my lord. Wizzo Wizzo with the straight draw, 2 overs, makes top pair on the river. Ledivio with a bottom pair with a good kicker. Facing a large bet here. Spades brick. Ledivio finds the call and Wizzo scoops a 4 million chip pot. Huge one going their way. Ace 10 facing the raise. Goes for the 3 bet, excuse me. Wizzo calls. 10-5-2 flop. About a half pot size bet will get through. Ledivio takes it down with top pair, top kicker. King 9 versus King Queen. We should see no 3 bet, but oh no, King 9 3 flop. Wizzo is gonna be in trouble here. Small bet from Ledivio with top 2. Wizzo puts in the check raise. Ledivio could just call. That he does. 5 on the turn. Wizzo puts in another value bet. Half pot size. Ledivio calls 9 on the river. Does that save Wizzo? No, he jams. Sees the bad news. Huge pot for Ledivio to take it down. It did take top pair, second best kicker, versus top 2. That turned into a boat for Ledivio to finally take down Wizzo, but that was one hell of a show from Ledivio. They shouldn't have really been in there to the end. Early, they called it off with the 8-8 versus queens and 10s. Looks like it'll be quite a while from there. I don't think it really matters to go back and look at this. But this is the pot that they shouldn't have been involved in. They got 40 blinds, pocket 8s. Wushu jams. Zegzazauer calls it off with queens. I mean, it looks pretty. And he snap calls off the 8s. So, I wonder if he just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm calling against Wushu. And didn't even think Zegzazauer was going to stick it in there. Just press the call button. Call any. Oh, but he just shouldn't have been in the game. 8 on the flop. That keeps Ledivio in the game. And then he just did a great job. Had a good run of cards. Certainly had the favorable deck today. That kept him in the tournament, and that kind of won him the tournament at the end. With a cooler, the top pair with a good kicker versus top 2. As I was saying, turning it into a boat. Ledivio gets the win. Now, how would you actually say Ledivio's name? Ludovi. And I say Ledivio, so it's I mix up the I and the O. Uh-oh. Anyways, that's the end of the show, so if you made it all the way through, thanks for checking this shit out. Hopefully we'll see you in another commentary. Adios, amigos.